Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 361 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. And I just had to do this video because there's been a lot of updates in regards to the Snyder Cut today. And I would want to cover all this before my live chat. And so this is amazing. Let's start off with some of the big things in terms of more recognition for the release of Snyder Cut. Digital Spy actually put out an article today saying Warner Brothers isn't at SDCC this year for its movies, but that hasn't stopped fans from campaigning to hashtag release the Snyder Cut. So it is pretty much the same article you probably have seen over and over from the different sites for now, but another big name media site talking about the Snyder Cut is better for us in the long run. And today, Nerd Queens and Jeff Purdy and everybody in a Project Comic Con handing out brochures. Even Birth's Movie's Death actually picked up the brochure, took a picture of it. Didn't say much about it, but there's that. So, but at least they're kind of promoting it in a way and showing that there is something being handed out. People are getting these brochures, are looking at them, are reading them, and talking about it. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ben W. He's over there. He's got the sign. He's giving it to people, taking pictures with the release of Snyder Cut sign. You are a hero, sir. Thank you so much, Ben W. at BDub3. That's amazing. That's also more publicity for the release of Snyder Cut and the Project Comic Con campaign. The other cool thing, and I'm just going to try to get this right here, is that on Wikipedia, they actually have made a page called Versions of Justice League. And that's kind of really cool. I mean, according to Stephen Colbert, this is an actual site, an actual page made by Wikipedia editors. It's not just people coming in and making it. Of course, now, since there's a page, they could, there could be trolls that come in and edit it to stuff. But for the most part, this is their information, most part. So it's almost like a more publicly informative site now, in terms of it's out of our realm, it's out of our bubble, it's out in the public, that there is such a thing of the Snyder Cut now, and there's more in that page. So I'm going to link this page in the description below if you want to go check it out yourself, see if there's anything missing, see if there's anything that we should know about. But that is amazing that there's an actual page for now Versions of Justice League, and that's just more. That's just more recognition for release of Snyder Cut, and that is great. But just to push it a little further, and seeing that today is supposed to be Saturday, Hall H. I didn't come on. I didn't have time to, but there was nothing going on more than just more Star Trek, and there's that whole Marvel thing. But nothing from DC, nothing from Warner Brothers. But Zack Snyder took it upon himself to create his own kind of Hall H experience in which he's like crazy. It's not the announcement, sadly, but it is more about the Justice League Snyder Cut. Confirmation now on how Steppenwolf was killed in the Justice League. He posted this on Vero this morning. He says, not sure how they killed Steppenwolf in the theatrical version of Justice League. This was never finished all the way, but I use gods to kill gods. So it's a couple shots here. You see a figure which looks, I don't know if it's a CG figure or a dummy figure of Steppenwolf in the air, and Wonder Woman going up, slicing down, beheading Steppenwolf, killing him while that boom tube in the back is open. So I think that is a CG character now that I'm thinking about it. Him flown into the sky, a horizontal boom tube, which makes sense because that actually does happen in the comics as well as in some of the animated movies. A little bit more is Steppenwolf falling into a boom tube here? Dave Anderson asked him. Zack Snyder says yes, and his severed head rolls to Darkseid's feet. That's right, Darkseid was going to appear right there. Joseph LC says, I knew it. I heard it was either Darkseid or by Diana. By the way, I have to ask Boss, does the League at any point in your version cut of the film fight Darkseid, specifically after a certain boom tube opens? Zack Snyder replied, they don't fight him. Yet they have an exchange. They see him with his massive invasion force, aka the whole family, just on the other side of the boom tube. But then the tube collapses because they've destroyed the mother boxes, so he can't come through. Wow, there would have had Darkseid right there in the boom tube with his entire family and all the new gods, possibly what he's trying to say. That would have been a huge hint and to future films. That would have been so epic to see, especially Diana finally doing the killing blow, because they literally hinted this in the beginning of the movie where Steppenwolf says, his axe is with the blood of her sisters. She would have avenged them. She was angry. She was mortified. She wanted to avenge her sisters. She was an angry god. And so she came out. She would have totally beheaded him. She would have not felt any sorry or pity or anything like that. She would have wanted to take him down. And that's the type of Wonder Woman that was pretty much kind of missing from the movie. And when you think about that, you're like, yeah, this is her sisters, her Amazon sisters. She should be more angry at this guy, much more vengeance, had more vengeance in her heart. So, and maybe even more cold-blooded in this case. She is just totally pissed off. So I think this would make much of a better move for Justice League, for Wonder Woman, to give him the killing blow instead of just destroying his axe. And some people even say, well, how did Steppenwolf got up there in the mid-air? A lot of people are speculating that Superman would hit the final blow to propel him into the boom tube, kind of like how in the the Justice League War animated movie, and possibly in the comics, I'm trying to remember. But he would have done that, and then when he's soaring into the boom tube, she chops off his head at the same time. That would have made greater sense than what had happened in the film. And that's something you gotta be said about that. I mean, oh my God, can you really? I can't believe that Warner Brothers had that right there, but because they were probably too scared to see Wonder Woman killing people or killing aliens or decapitating gods, that they took that out because here says we can't scare the kiddies. The kiddies won't get it, and people won't get it. And yet Thor does the same thing years later in Endgame. They did not care. They're like, oh, you're too scared to do that? We can do it. Now, I'm not implying that they're copying anything at all, but just implying that because look at what happened. Warner Brothers was too scared to do it. Marvel went ahead and did it, and without any repercussions about that. So that should give Warner Brothers, it's a slap in the face. I mean, they had no balls. They had nothing. Just, I can't believe they had no courage to do things like this. They got too scared, and they decided to try go and make kiddie movies instead, and that's just sad. That's just really sad and pathetic. And I'm glad almost all of them are gone except one guy left, who's Toby Emmerich. So he's got to get out. But a little bit more about that. Ray Porter. And he knows he's Darkseid. Everybody knows he's Darkseid. But because he can't really say it, he's saying this. Purely speculating, you understand, but it'd be more like it rolling and getting stopped by Darkseid's foot, who then keeps it under his foot for his remainder of the scene. I mean, theoretically. So it's just a little bit more for you to bite on, if you will, of what happens when Wonder Woman chops off Steppenwolf's head and it rolls. I can't believe it. It's just crazy what they've done to this movie. It's just crazy, utterly insane. They should have, like I've said it before, they should have just did it, just finished it up, threw it out there, and that's it. But this does come into more clear and clarification about what's done and what's not done. So obviously when you look at this, he's even said it himself that it's not entirely done. They didn't do it all the way, but at least the model is there. Wonder Woman is there. Looks like the background needs to be worked on, although some of this background you've actually seen in the theatrical version. In fact, that screenshot that Zack Snyder shared with Wonder Woman, that's the exact same shot that was in the theatrical version where she's going up and to slice off the axe. So does that mean that shot in the theatrical version is also incomplete? They literally put out a movie that was incomplete CGI. And Toby Emmerich, give up whatever your bonus was. Give it back and use that to finish the Snyder Cut, please. My God. But into a little bit more tinfoily area. Anon at Expand Chill. He put this out, and I thought this is so very interesting. Remember, we kind of talked about Sofia Boutella was there in London with the Justice League people, and we were assuming that she was shooting for another movie, like which I can't really think about right now, but there were other movies in London that she was shooting at the time. So was it that? So when you go back to that comment that Zack Snyder made where the invasion force, the whole family was just on the other side of the boom tube, that means at that time they would have possibly had people in the roles of those family members, right? So is it a possibility, just a mere possibility, that Sofia Boutella was indeed playing Grail, Darkseid's daughter, in the movie, and she was there right next to him in the boom tube? What could that be a possibility? I mean, he did say, Zack Snyder did say when he revealed Yuxa's on Father's Day that he's the biggest daddy of all time, almost alluding, like I said, hinting that he already has a daughter and his daughter was going to be in the series somehow. And so there, right there, another thing, another piece of the puzzle on something that hasn't been mentioned too much before, maybe even speculated at, but this could be it. And hopefully one day we'll find out if Sofia Boutella, the reason why she was in those pictures with the Justice League team, was possibly shooting as Grail, Darkseid's daughter, in the Justice League Snyder Cut. And hopefully we will get to see that as well. But that's amazing, and it doesn't stop there, really. And I really should have showed you this picture before the other one, but so Zack Snyder actually posted this before the other pictures, and it is a desk. You do see a MacBook there. You do see the words Justice League on the MacBook with a picture of the Justice League members, including Green Lantern. Of course, that is just an animated decal. Okay, you've got a camera there, you've got a phone, you got something there, and then you got this little book here. And if you look closely at the book, and he has no comments on this, there is no picture description, nothing. You see the words JLZS, just like it says Zack Snyder above, and it has the date, which we could simply looking at it as April 15th, 2016, which we assume this is when they were going to start. Is this when they were going to start shooting Justice League? This was the first day. Is he alluding to this is the first day, or he's got something to do here? I don't know. Or is this the computer he's using to watch that movie right now and pulling clips and pulling screenshots of that movie? He still has everything that was involved with the Justice League on that table in his desk. It's very interesting, this picture. He does not comment on anything in this Vera post, and he's been talking more on the other post, which was earlier about Steppenwolf and being beheaded and stuff. So this one's a curious one, and this is the one I want to talk about the most, because I don't know what's going on here. Tinfoil, if you're a pessimist, you may believe like this is it. This is all he's gonna do. He's shown us everything. This is what his legacy is for the Justice League, and it's sitting right there on that table, and that's pretty much it. Although he has never said to give up, but we're just looking at this right now. An optimist like me would say that maybe he's trying to imply that this is the start of the work and he wants to finish the work he started. And he's looking at that now. He's thinking back about all the other San Diego Comic-Cons, as this was, today is Hall H Day, Saturday Hall H Day, where he revealed Justice League, he revealed Batman v Superman, all the great, biggest DC properties to this day, which Warner Brothers were too cowardly to show up today. But he may be implying, maybe, just saying maybe, that he is not intending to let go. He is showing us that he is continuously going to push and pressure, and by giving us more information about Justice League, giving us a little bit more about Justice League, so it keeps us going, keeps the fans, keeps the audiences, keeps the everybody to keep pushing forward, pressuring Warner Brothers to release the Snyder Cut. And it seems to be working, right? We've got a lot of big media sites, blog sites talking about the Snyder Cut now. We've got a ton of things happening with the Snyder Cut. We're getting ready possibly for the next Project Comic-Con, and we're getting ready for that letter campaign to Ann Sarnoff as well with that RT Snyder Cut. And so there's a lot of things going on, and I feel like this is him saying that to keep going, to keep doing it. He's started it, we're gonna finish it, and we have to keep moving on. At the same time, he's gonna keep giving us hints, keep moving it forward, and I believe he has not given up. And so it kind of also shows too that Clay Enos also saying that he's not giving up as well. He tweeted out hashtag release the Snyder Cut today as well, so that is something to be said about that. It's not over. They would have said stop and everything, and when they do, then we'll finally we'll finally concede. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. It seems like he's very much still trying to push forward with us and having us keep pressuring Warner Brothers, and that's what we're going to do, and we will never stop. But at the same time, he has still projects to do, and he decided today to actually reveal the first official, I guess you could say official picture of the Army of the Dead. So he said this: couldn't make it to San Diego Comic-Con 2019 because we're busy killing zombies. Hashtag AOTD. Hashtag first look at Armies of the Dead, and that cast is looking really good. You've got Dave Bautista, Samantha Joy. You've got all these characters right here, and they look like they're ready to kill some zombies. I mean, look at Samantha Joy. I mean, just look at her. She kind of looks like I forgot her name. She was from Aliens. It just looks like the Marines or going in. It's almost Aliens-esque, going in, taking out zombies. That Marine style. I think that would be really sweet and awesome, and I know the visual is going to be there. It's going to look fantastic. So it's going to look awesome, and I can't wait to see this movie. And we don't have to go to the theaters for this. It's going to be on Netflix. This is literally, guys, and if you guys are all in for Zack Snyder doing whatever he wants to do, then you got to be happy for this, because Army of the Dead, this Army of the Dead is going to be the definitive Snyder Cut of Army of the Dead, because there is nobody telling him what to do, what to cut, what to put in his movie, what to take out. There is nobody stopping him from making the Snyder Cut of Armies of the Dead. So awesome, great, good on you, Zack Snyder. And as a Snyder fan, we can't wait to see your movie. All right, guys, well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. Continue fighting for release the Snyder Cut, and I'll see you next time.